Coming up this week on UB Basketball Insider, head basketball coaches Nate Oates and Felicia Leggett-Jack reflect on early season success and preview their teams as they delve deep into non-conference play. You'll meet the Bulls' power forward that is transitioning from sixth man to key leader. Plus the top 5 plays of the season so far. UB Basketball Insider tips off right now.
You will take it!
We didn't give up, we kept fighting.
Every single possession!
We just got to figure out a way to win a game.
Basketball fans, on your feet. Here come your Bulls.
Stolen by Massenberg, dunked for the right hand. Flashy no-look pass over to Summer Hemphill.
Wilkins 3, good.
Ray the follow dunk. Sensational move from the freshman.
Welcome back to UB Bulls Basketball Insider. I'm Josh Wetzel, voice of the UB basketball team, joined by Bulls head coach Nate Oates. His third year at the helm of the program. The Bulls off to a nice start back from the Cayman Islands. How is everything starting to gel with a lot of these newcomers?
You know what? I think our chemistry is really good. It's been great all summer. We've been working on it, had a lot of meetings, talked about it. I think it's paying off. I think all the guys want to see each other do well, which is always a great sign. Our effort's been great. We've been playing hard. You know, and there's tons of stuff to work on, but you know what? That's expected. It's nice if you can work on stuff and get wins. So, you know, and you take some losses here and there and learn from it too. But I think we're definitely trying to get better, and the guys' heads are in the right spot for sure.
And I brought up the newcomers, but some of the guys coming back from previous seasons have certainly improved. We'll talk about Nick Perkins coming up, but what about Devontae Jordan, who's really seemed to get a lot better from his freshman year?
Yeah, much better. His whole mindset's much better. He spent a ton of time in the gym. I mean, he's, you know, after 2 games, he's leading the country in three-point percentage. He's 3 for 3. So hopefully he can keep knocking down shots. But he's just playing his game, not getting too aggressive, but aggressive enough. You know, like last year, he was 100 miles an hour 100% of the time. We've really worked with them on changing pace, slowing down, getting your head up, making some reads, just making the simple pass and just moving the ball. You don't have to make a home run play every time. And defensively, he's really come around. I mean, I feel like we've got 2 of the best, if not the 2 best defensive guards in the MAC, and Carruthers, who was Defensive Player of the Year last year, and now Devontae Jordan maybe has been as good, if not some games better than Carruthers has been. So you know, it's great to have that. And you know what? He's going to keep playing. Once Wes gets cleared and eligible, like Devontae's still going to play. You know, Wes is a capable scorer. We can play Wes at some 2. Devontae can guard. I mean, we've got, it's a nice problem to have when Wes gets eligible, but Devontae's in the mix for the year for sure.
And you mentioned Dante, a great defensive player. Has he made the strides offensively like Devontae from last year to this year?
Yeah, I really think he has. He spent a lot of time in the gym working on his shooting. He's, you know, and it's still, they got to get comfortable. Where do you make the plays? When do you drive? When do you just move it? And Dante's, he's got to know, you know, he's going to drive. If he's given the option to shoot or drive and it's somewhere in between, he's going to drive every time. But, you know, he has spent time in the gym working on a shot. It's going to be more consistent this year, and he's going to have more confidence in it to where teams can't just play 10 feet off him and pack off him in the lane like they did last year.
And we've skipped C.J. Massenberg, who's a fan favorite. He didn't get a chance to play a lot preseason because of a knee injury. How is C.J. coming around?
You know, I think that first game against Canisius, he was nowhere near himself. He just needed some confidence knowing his knee was back 100% because he's still practicing with a knee brace on just as a precautionary method. And that was the first time he'd played without it. So I think that Jacksonville State game really was his coming out party. It was great for him to do it in front of a home crowd, and he had 25. I think that was the second highest he scored other than that 36 he had as a freshman, which was shocking to me. I thought he'd had some other games higher than that, but hopefully we get more of that. You know, Nick with 26 in the first game, CJ with 25 in the second game. Those are our 2 guys that are returners that have played a lot and expected to do a lot, and you know, we're counting on him quite a bit again this year.
Coach, 5 players are playing right now that didn't play last year for the Bulls. How's the process been of getting them into the flow?
You know, with Brock, he was here and redshirted, so he knew the system, knows what we want. It's been a little bit easier for him than maybe the other 4 because he's been here, and I think it shows. You know, he's been pretty good with that stuff. So I'm happy with where he's at, and he's just smart, and he's easy to play with. He moves the ball well, and he's a pretty good rebounder. You know, he's a big kid. So he's been great. Now, Jeremy, coming in as a big-time scorer, shot 45% from 3, struggled early, starting to get in a flow a lot better now. Big things are expecting him, and he's going to have a great year for us. We know that. And then Montel, he's really figuring it out. He can shoot threes, as he's shown. He didn't really get to shoot a lot in junior college. We're kind of giving him that freedom to step out and make some more. So I think that's good for his overall game. But, he's really got to be a rebounder and a presence inside for us. A little bit like Nick. The two of them can both make threes and play inside both. Then the two freshmen, there's going to be growing pains as freshmen. We saw with Devontae last year and how good he is as a sophomore. Hopefully these guys, the fact that they don't have to play point nearly as much, they're able to come around a lot sooner than Devontae. Point guard's a hard position to play as a freshman. So they're going to be good. They're both great athletes with great attitudes that can score the ball, and they're in their own ways. They're both going to contribute significantly this year, and I think we've seen that already.
And the Bulls have a target on their backs this season as a favorite in the conference. Is this the sort of group you think that really embraces that role as the favorites?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, to be honest with you, we don't talk about it much. I mean, we had a big target on our back last year winning it. We had it for 2 years, really, because we'd won it the year before, my first year as a head coach, and guys knew it was going to be hard and they embraced it. Last year, I thought we got a little complacent. Some guys a little bit entitled and thought it was just going to happen after you did it for 2 years. Now we're a little hungrier and want to make it happen instead of just assuming it's going to happen. So being picked to win it's great and all, but that just, like you said, just puts a big target on your back, and you're going to get everybody's best shot. All the coaches are going to use it as fodder for their own team. This is the team that's supposed to win it, so they're going to come in and play hard, which that's fine. Like, bring us your best shot. That's what we want. It'll make us better. And then we need to be playing our best basketball come that MAC tournament at the end of the year.
It's going to be fun. We'll be back with more from Coach Oates right after this.
Coming up, power forward Nick Perkins is ready to prove that he is the next great Bulls big man. UB Basketball Insider returns right after this. Buffalo sports fans, let's make Alumni Arena loud when the UB men's basketball team hosts Big Four rival St. Bonaventure on Saturday, December 2nd. It's the annual Whiteout Alumni Arena game, and all fans are encouraged to wear white to the game. Don't miss out on your chance to catch regional rivals competing on the hardwood. Tip-off is at 2 p.m. For tickets and more information, call 877-UB-THERE or visit UBBulls.com. Welcome back to UB Basketball Insider. This segment is presented by CEFQ, changing lives every day.
Welcome back to UB Bulls Basketball Insider. I'm Josh Wetzel. Make sure you're at Alumni Arena on Saturday, December 2nd, when the Bulls take on Big Four rival St. Bonaventure at 2 o'clock. Well, last year as a sophomore, Nick Perkins was the MAC Sixth Man of the Year. This year he's in the starting lineup as a junior, and he's ready to take the conference by storm.
Hi, I'm Nick Perkins, junior on the men's basketball team. It's year 3. The excitement level is crazy. The first year as a freshman, you kind of learning. Your sophomore year is kind of like, you want to step it up a little bit and pretty much do what you can. And junior year it's here now. So it's time. It's a leadership year for me. A year that's been kind of different for me. Going through the practices this fall, trying to get the team ready, trying to lead by example, stuff like that. So it's definitely been a year that I'm ready for.
Massenberg left corner, 2 to shoot. Out top, Perkins has to force up a 3. Swish!
Really, this offseason, I kind of worked a lot on my right hand, my weak hand. I'll say if you ask a lot of coaches around the league, they'll say, how do you guard Nick Perkins? You would say you force him to his right hand. So that's one thing I really focused on. And also just being more consistent, with my jump shot and just with my play overall. I feel like last year I had times where I was up and down. I have 3 games where I play amazing, 17 points, 10 rebounds, and then the next 3 games I have 8 points, 4 rebounds, just being more consistent, stuff like that. That's really some of the things that I really try to focus on. If you know Oates, he like to play fast, he like to get up and down. If you're gonna play in this program, you gotta know how to run the floor, stuff like that. It was definitely an adjustment. And I think my freshman year I learned a lot. I really gotta change my body and the way I eat and my body overall. But I feel like last year, sophomore year, I was able to adjust more to the style of play and the speed. I think with this team is just overall just consistency every day. You come in here, you you start early October, you practicing every day, everything. Then you can kind of get consistent and you can kind of try to like start veering off. But I think just trying to get better every day, approaching practice with a positive mindset, stuff like that. It's really about like the small things, that's like Coach Oates was saying, Coach Weissel. Every year we have probably one of the most skilled teams overall in the MAC, if not the most skilled. But like the little things is like really what makes you win at the end of the day, because it's going to be some close, tough games, and if you haven't really focused on those little things in the offseason, it's going to be hard for you to win. I know guys want to win the MAC championship. We talk about it all the time in the locker room, but I mean, getting back to the NCAA tournament, that's really the goal, and try to win a few games there.
Coach Nick Perkins back for his junior year, somebody you brought into UB from outside Detroit, and he's made so much progress since his freshman season. He's really letting the game come to him now, isn't he?
Yeah, I think before he was really stressing that he had to score it, and he knew he could, and we all knew he could, and he had those big scoring. He led us in scoring in the NCAA tournament his freshman year. Now he's just playing the right way. He's just making the right basketball play, letting it come to him. So you still see the big numbers. It's just much, much more efficient. He's not putting shots up that he shouldn't be putting up. He's taking great shots.
It seemed like earlier in his career he was more apt to just stay around the three-point line at times. He's more of an inside than outside threat now, isn't he?
Yeah, and we talked about that. I'll never tell him not to shoot a three. I think he's a great shooter, as evidenced early this year already. You know, just take great shots and beat him up inside, and then let the game come to you. And when it's there to shoot a three, take it every time you're open.
I know one of the things you want him to work on is rebounding. How's he coming in that regard?
You know, it's going to be a work in progress all the time because he's so skilled that maybe that's third on his list of priorities. But we tell him, you average 20 and 10, you're probably going to be conference player of the year. You average 20 and 5, like you're not in the mix. Like people don't respect that. Look at your body. You should be averaging 10 rebounds. I think he wants to. He knows he needs to. He looks at the video himself and knows and we're going to keep working on it until he's a 20-10 guy.
And in the past, sometimes his emotions will get the best of him, but he's somebody that just really cares a lot when he's out there on the floor, whether the team wins or loses.
No, he really does. He's an emotional kid. He's learning how to control it much better. He's a much better leader than he's been in the past. He wants to be that leader for the team, knows he has to control himself emotionally that way, but still play with emotion. Just don't let the emotions get the best of you, and he's getting much, much better with that.
How's his defense coming along?
Shoot, first game of the year, he guarded Jermaine Crumpton. I think he showed. Now we got to get it like that every game, but he was locked in for game one for sure against Jermaine Crumpton.
He did a phenomenal job in that first game. Nick Perkins is certainly going to be right in the mix for the Conference Player of the Year. Coach, thanks a lot for the time. Good luck in what's going to be a really fun season here at Alumni Arena.
Thanks, Josh.
Coming up, head women's basketball coach Felicia Leggett-Jack previews her squad as they look to reclaim and advance in the Mid-American Conference this season. That's next on UB Basketball Insider. Buffalo sports fans, let's make Alumni Arena loud when the UB men's basketball team hosts Big Four rival St. Bonaventure on Saturday, December 2nd. It's the annual Whiteout Alumni Arena game, and all fans are encouraged to wear white to the game. Don't miss out on your chance to catch regional rivals competing on the hardwood. Tip-off is at 2 p.m. For tickets and more information, call 877-UB-THERE or visit ubbulls.com. Welcome back to UB Basketball Insider. This segment is presented by Town BMW, the official auto partner of UB Athletics.
Welcome back. We're happy to be joined now by the longtime UB women's head coach, Felicia Leggett-Jack. And Coach, much like the men's team, the women's team has a bullseye, no pun intended, on their back this year. Some high expectations. Are your ladies really embracing that this year?
First, I want to be excited about what you said. Longtime coach, Felicia Leggett-Jack. It's really great to be in a position where you can start really seeing the standards being set and the culture being created. And going into my 6th year is really exciting to be here at the University at Buffalo, being really close to my family and growing this fine job and this fine school and this amazing atmosphere. Having a bullseye, in the front, back, side, it doesn't matter. Let's just count us in. We just want to be a part of it. and part of the process, and a part of the process of learning how to become better in this great sport.
It does make sense that the Bulls are favorites this year, though, with so many returning players. Let's talk about the 5 seniors. This is a good group, isn't it?
I love this group. Let me digress for a second. Okay. They're awesome. Stephanie is amazing. Stephanie Reed is we call her the general that has the keys to the car. She's going to lead us. She's, I think, 4th in the country now in assists. Louis does a great job of keeping me abreast on how our kids are incorporating their success throughout the entire nation. Cassie Ausler is going to be a fine post player. She's now lost about 10 pounds, and she's running the floor like a deer. You got to love Mariah Suchen, who's really fine-tuning that outside jump shot. Lisa is coming off the bench, and she's playing a lot more minutes than she did last year. She's playing a point 2 and 3 for us right now, and she's such a great voice when she comes in. She helps us with our defense. And, the person that brings her lunchbox and just sits it down and go to work and does whatever we need her to do is Catherine Upps, who's a tremendous leader on the floor. And it's neat to say those 2 Up sisters, they're going to be doctors. They just got accepted into medical school in Australia.
That's awesome. Now, Sierra Dillard is a newcomer, the transfer from UMass. Is she basically just sliding into Joanna Smith's spot from a year ago?
Well, she's a newcomer to you all, but she's a kid that I recruited since the 9th grade. I certainly wanted her from day one. I love her IQ for the game. I love her ability to see the floor, shoot the 3 ball, play the defense with savvy. She's not going to be the fastest kid on the floor, but her angle smart is so tremendous. She's not going to replace a Joanna Smith. I don't want that to ever be the thought process. But as a recruiter, something I've been, pretty fortunate to be able to do, finding some real character kids that stand for academics and basketball. I just saw that, Joanna was going to leave, and I needed somebody that's going to step into a position that's vacant that's going to help us continue to be great.
And with the expectations very high for this season, it looks like you scheduled with that in mind, trying to challenge yourself with some really high-profile opponents before you get to MAC play, right?
Absolutely. That's the standard. I think that, our MAC conference has been amazing. My colleagues in this conference has been doing a tremendous job in non-conference. But we had to raise the stake because I think that we're right on a bubble of getting 2 teams in. Again, we've done that a long time ago when Bowling Green didn't win the tournament and actually was able to get in and ended up going to the Sweet 16. I think that we're right there with the Central Michigans, the Toledos, ourselves, and Ball State. I think that we're in that position. And so we scheduled heavy. We scheduled 5 BCS teams for this year in hopes that we can not just play them but beat them so that we can make it really hard for that selection committee to not bring in 2 teams in our conference.
What's the big key, you think, for this season to make it wind up where the Bulls want to be?
Winning.
That's plain and simple.
Winning. And you know what we're doing? We're going to stay locked into our defense. Right now we're giving up way too many points. I think it's important that we lock in defensively a little bit better. But we're pushing the ball past my comfortability, if you will. But we're doing it on purpose. I think that we're a team that can we can have 2 kids in the top 20 in assists if our kids continue to catch the pass. But we have to throw the pass in their direction so they can realize the ball is coming. So we're creating more turnovers, if you will. I think Sierra's averaging about 5.5 assists, and Stephanie's about around 6. And so we're really catching those balls. But imagine if we catch them all, we can have 2 kids over 7 assists a game, and that will be tremendous going down the stretch.
It's a really fun team to watch. Coach, good luck this season.
Thank you so much. I appreciate all you do. Go Bulls.
Coming up, the top 5 plays from the Bulls' hot start to the season. UB Basketball Insider continues in a moment.
For nearly 100 years, ECMC has brought hope and healing to Western New York. I'm living proof, and I couldn't be more grateful. Like cancer, we all hope trauma will never happen to us. But when it does, we can rely on ECMC to always be there. I hope you join me to be there for them and help them build their new state-of-the-art trauma center and emergency department. Visit supportecmctrauma.org to help learn how you can support life-saving care.
Here, it's not just what we do, it's how we do it.
The This is UB Basketball Insider, presented by ECMC. The difference between healthcare and true care.
Welcome back to UB Basketball Insider. I'm Josh Wetzel. The Bulls are off to a great start so far this season. Here are the top 5 plays of the year so far.
It's time now for the top 5 plays of the week, brought to you by ECMC. The difference between healthcare and true care. Number 5.
Outlet pass ahead to Massenberg in the front court. Spots a wide open Jordan for a right wing three. Oh, yeah!
Huge three by Devontae Jordan. His first of the night. Gives the Bulls an 8-point lead with 1:54 to go.
Number 4.
For Molson, give and go to Reese, who blows the layup. Jordan has it for Buffalo. Devontae down the floor himself, scoops it to Harris for a left wing three. It's no good. Perkins, weak side rebound for Buffalo, takes it back up, scores, and he was fouled.
That could be an important possession there. It was a 5-point lead. It could have been a 7-point lead. Reese blows the layup. Perkins makes the layup on the other side. A chance to cut it to 2.
Number 3.
Spears rattles in the second, Bulls by 8. Devontae Jordan way out on the right. Knifes by his defender, gets in the lane, no look bounce pass, Graves reverse layup. No good, but McRae the follow dunk. 48-38 Buffalo.
Getting into the lane, missed the layup. McRae, though, comes by with a monster dunk to give the Bulls the 10-point lead.
Number 2.
Left sideline, Molson back to Johnson at the point. Quite a dangerous pass intercepted by Jordan. Devontae down the floor, all the way to the hoop, lays it in!
Devontae Jordan does it on both ends. The steal, drive to the basket, and lays it in. 16 points for Devontae Jordan. He's having his best game as a whole.
Number 1.
Carruthers dribbling out of pressure at the perimeter. Left side, Javon Graves. He'll launch a three, too strong. Bertram, the weak side rebound for Buffalo. Kicks to Massenberg for a straightaway three. Got it, and a foul. Chance at a 4-point play for CJ.
What a great game CJ Massenberg is having. Now 11 points. He's 3 of 5 from three-point range in the very rare 4-point play.
That's all for our show for today. Make sure you catch Felicia Leggett-Jack's women's team when they're in action next time at Alumni Arena against Big Four rival Canisius on December 7th. The UB men's team back at home against St. Bonaventure, another Big Four rival, on Saturday, December 2nd. I'm Josh Wetzel. Thanks for watching UB Basketball Insider. We'll check you next week.